Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Before I begin this sharing, I really want to ask forgiveness from all of you and say that I have absolutely no qualification to discuss this part or even whatever happened before. It is very humbling, very revealing. So, whatever discussions, any questions, self explanatory it is. So, please, all of you also answer as you ask your questions. It is just too beyond, above the mode of Shuddha Sattva. So, here we go with our part 3.
What does that mean, Mataji? Sutta Sattva?
Beyond the best ko mela, any other word means sattva is a goodness. Shuddha sattva is beyond the mode of goodness. So, like too good to even imagination is not going.
Okay.
Okay, it's echoing, so I have to do something here now. Can you all see? Yes, Mataji? Okay. So just a glimpse of 3 chapters in this part 3. We did 4 there. So 5th one is Prema. So he's going to get the Prema, love of God, in this 5th chapter. And what can go beyond Prema if we think? There is something more. Chapter 6 says Abhishta Labha. That means the attainment of all desires. So what is that desire he had that he's getting? That is 6. And 7 is Jagadananda, the bliss of the worlds. So the chapters are named aptly for that chapter. So we have to go through it to find out what it is. So let's go to chapter 5, Prema. Okay, Shri Gaurangi Mataji, please go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Shri Gopkumar said, I then went to Dwarka. There I saw various groups of Yadavas along with their children. They were accompanied by some Brahmanas of Mathura and were enjoying themselves. Commentary. In the 5th chapter, Gopkumar meets the Lord of Dwarka and hears the glories of the earthly Gokul and the pastimes the Lord enacts there. By understanding the glories of that Gokul, he comes to know the glories of Krishna's planet Golok in the spiritual sky. Upon arriving in Dwarka, Gopkumar saw that the Yadus were completely free from anxiety and in fact were full of the most perfect ecstasy. They were constantly enjoying various kinds of pleasure. He saw large numbers of them assembled in groups, and besides the adults, he saw many children also.
So first time he's seeing children. So it's real life here in Dwaraka and so much happiness. Jai. Yeah.
I had wandered everywhere, but never before had I seen such a perfection of charm as that which shone in them. Not even Vaikuntha and Ayodhya had Gopkumar seen such handsome people.
Already people are too handsome everywhere, and this is going beyond that. What to say?
Seeing them gave me such delight that I forgot everything I had in mind. And those Yadavas, the best of all knowing sages, drew me into their company and embraced me. Commentary. Gopakumara had intended to bow down to offer the Yadavas his respects, but he was so enchanted by what he was seeing that he forgot. The Yadavas, who were as all knowing as the most proficient mystics, knew at once that Gopakumara was looking for Krishna, and so they greeted him enthusiastically.
And here, the first time you all can see the word, they drew me into their company and embraced me. So this is very significant here. All the dhams he went, they were all closing their ears and they were saying, hey, don't call me the master. And they were mostly in their service mode and they were all focused there. But here first they are pulling Gopakumar and embracing, the Yadavas are embracing and welcoming him. So we are entering the abode of love now. Jai.
When they recognized me as the son of a cowherd from Govardhana hill, their hearts melted in a flood of affection, and they took me by the hand and brought me into the inner precincts of the city.
It's like my people feeling. This is so sweet. Nayan Sundari Mataji. Anita Mataji, are you there to read the list from? She's not there. Nayan Sundari Mataji, would you like to read?
No, Mataji, sorry, not today. I'm teaching Rasika school work, something. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, no problem, Mataji. Priya
Okay.
Mataji.
Yeah. From a distance, I saw the personality of Godhead brilliantly manifest at leisure in a vast assembly hall. He sat on the excellent cushion of an excellent throne made of gold and jewels. The hall was known as Sudharma.
So from our Krishna book reading, we remember this hall of Sudharma where Krishna is sitting along with the Yadavas in that assembly. So that's now Gopakumar is entering. Lakshmi Mataji, are you there? Then is Anita Mataji, Ritu Mataji, Shashikala Mataji, are anyone there in that list? Hare Krishna. Today is my challenge. First day. Richa Mataji, would you like to read next? Since I don't see our people.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
He was served by all the many quintessential charms of the Lord of Vaikuntha, and by many different splendors, greater and greater, that even that Lord does not possess. Commentary. Many of the attractive features of the Lord Narayana are also visible in Krishna, the Lord of Dwarka. A beautiful mouth, eyes, and so on, fine ornaments, opulent paraphernalia, and such pastimes as chewing pan and sitting on a throne. Krishna displays these charms even more attractively than Lord Narayana. And what to speak of Krishna's own unique ways of attracting his devotees.
So here even the pan is being mentioned because even the Lord's chewing of pan is so special. Like in this material world, we hate when we see somebody chews pan. It doesn't look any attractive about that activity and the spitting of it. But that is even glorified. We can remember Narayan, Mother Rama feeding and Dharani holding the remnants. So that's that mundane activity also is so glorified when the Lord is doing. So it's mentioned here. Anyone else? Priyank, I don't know who's on the list. Krishna, Govinda.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Priyanka Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for joining. Yes, we are on text 7. Can you see?
Okay. Yes, Mataji. Do I need to read the Sanskrit or can I read the...
No, just the bold part.
Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Revealing his two beautiful arms for his devotees, Lord Krishna, the ocean of supremely wonderful pastimes, was worshipped by youthful maturity, softened by a touch of adolescent grace. His sublime gestures stole the hearts of his servants.
That was so beautiful. Yeah, only if it is highlighted, you could read the commentary. Otherwise, we are not reading at this point.
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So a touch of adolescent grace. So he's a little grown up. He's not a young boy in the assembly. So that youthful maturity is very attractive form of Krishna in Dwaraka. So, here is some more that is highlighted. Could you see this? Gopakumar saw.
Yes, Mataji. Gopakumara saw how Krishna smiles, his pleasant words, his sidelong glances, and the movements of his eyebrows charmed the Dwaraka Vasis in the Sudharma hall. Only devotees favored by the Lord can know how such gestures affect the heart, for it cannot be adequately described in words. Indeed, the eternally deep ocean of Krishna's playful pastimes goes beyond the delimiting power of words and the mind. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Who else has joined? Sabitra Mataji, would you like to read it too? Sabitra Mataji, would you like to read or you want to hear? Okay. Above him shone a broad white umbrella. At his two sides waved a pair of excellent yak-tail fans, and in front of him, upon a golden footstool, sat his divine slippers. Back to Sri Gauraki.
All around him were various symbols of royalty befitting the ruler of kings among kings, and there were servants qualified to attend him, and transcendental opulences standing in rows before him.
So Dwaraka, this is all said so that we understand there is opulence is there in this dham also. So Krishna is also the Vaikuntha, whatever the opulences he saw Gopakumar, he's also seeing them in the Dwaraka place. And along with the sweetness of Krishna. So it's added bonus here.
Sri Vasudeva, Balram, Akrur, and others sat to his right, each on his own seat. Gad and Satyaki to his left, and just before him, King Ugrasen.
Yeah, all of them are being described who are sitting there.
Also, nearby was the Lord's minister, Vikadru, with Krutavarma, and several other prominent Vrishnis. Sri Narada was entertaining the Lord, making him smile with clever words, fine singing, and the music of his veena.
So Narad Muni is also there, a familiar person for him. That's very sweet. Priya Madhuri Mataji.
Garuda stood
Oh,
before
Leela
the
Madhuri, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
Leela Madhuri Mataji, sorry, go ahead.
Sri Garuda stood before the Lord, glorifying him with prayers, and Uddhava massaged the Lord's lotus feet and pleased him with affectionate, intimate remarks. Commentary. As Krishna's dearest friend in Dwaraka, Uddhava has the privilege of massaging the Lord's feet in the Sudharma assembly hall. Being so close to the Lord, he can say things that others present should not overhear. He is also a disciple of Brihaspati, the master of speech. So he is a perfect scholar and Krishna's favorite advisor. Even if someone were to stand close enough to hear what he was telling Krishna, his speech was so circumspect that its confidential gist was beyond guessing. Although the Lord to whom Uddhava was speaking had submitted himself to Uddhava's influence, that Lord was Nijeshwaram, the supreme controller, what to speak of being most clever and resourceful.
So we can remember Uddhava's greatness from the Krishna chapters that previously we have read in Krishna book, where Uddhava gives the advice how Krishna should go to the Rajasuya sacrifice first, and on his way he should take care of the Jarasandha and clan. So he is the best advisor. Always Krishna asks, "You are my best counsel. You tell me what to do. You tell me what to do." That's how close Uddhava is. So we will get to know more how Uddhava, Krishna doesn't have to speak to him. Just with the glance of the eyes, like only when you're very close with your eye glance itself, you exchange messages, right? So that you can see now what's going to happen next. Yes, Priyamati Mataji.
Seeing from a distance the goal I had long desired to see, I fell unconscious, overburdened by love. Then the Lord, brimming with the exalted rasa of affection, told Uddhava to bring me close.
Richa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
You're there? Okay, yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead.
Uddhava quickly came forward, delighted to see me in the dress of a cowherd boy. He carefully lifted me from the ground, brought me back to full awareness, and led me to the Lord's side with both hands.
Jai. Richa Mataji, yes.
The Lord of my life then stroked me with his.
Here, then the Lord, wanting to
Sorry.
lift.
Then the Lord, wanting to lift me up and draw me to his side, placed his feet close to me. And O Uddhava, with his own hand, firmly touched my head to those lotus feet.
Jai. Priyanka Mataji.
The Lord of my life then stroked me with his lotus hand, as if to cleanse each of my limbs. He took the flute from my hand, looked at it, and apparently in great distress, silently shed tears. Commentary.
Yeah.
Although Krishna was in the august assembly of royalty, he was unable to check his emotions when Gopakumara came near him. Krishna surely knows how to deal lovingly with his devotees, and in front of the Yadava princess, he tried his best to control himself, but it was obvious he was becoming agitated. Hare Krishna.
So here, thank you. This is like so special. Krishna is silently shedding tears. Why? Because he touched that flute and he's seeing Gopakumar from Govardhan. So now what happens? All his memory of the Vrindavan is going to flood his heart and he cannot control himself in the assembly. So let's see next. Was there anybody who didn't get a chance to read? Anyone who joined later? Hare Krishna. Okay. Savitra Mataji, would you like to read or you want to hear? I don't hear you, Mataji. Sorry if you're speaking.
Sorry. Today I joined the first time. I don't know, but eventually I may do. But sorry.
Sure. Very welcome to the group. Actually, thank you for joining. You can hear, you can see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Welcome. The next moment he asked, "Is all well with you? Is your health good? I hope the place you came from is free from any misfortune." While speaking this way, he again began to feel disturbed, and Uddhava had to calm him. So the commentary is, as soon as Uddhava saw ecstatic symptoms appear in Krishna's body, such as tears and choking of the voice, he took steps to calm the Lord. Krishna's agitation was caused by the questions he had asked about Gopakumar's hometown. Strictly speaking, inauspicious forces cannot enter the Dwaraka of Vaikuntha, where Gopakumar was present. They can enter only the Vrindavan and Dwarka on earth. But Sri Krishna is always in the mood of his abodes on earth, which are ultimately identical with his abodes in the spiritual sky. Sri Narada will later elaborate on this esoteric truth. So, more elaboration, Narad Muni will explain us further.
With a gesture, Uddhava indicated to the Lord those present before them in the assembly, Vasudev and other Yadavas, and many kings and demigods and sages.
The Lord opened his lotus eyes and glanced at the people in front of him. With difficulty, he somewhat calmed himself and then got up to enter his inner quarters.
Because I had now attained the Lord of my life, for whom I had yearned for so long. I was immersed in an ocean of joy. I had no idea what to say or what to do.
As the chiefs of the Yadus began leaving, the Lord honored them with items such as pan and sandalwood paste. Holding my joined palms in his right hand, he took me with him as he entered the inner palace with Balrama and Uddhava. Commentary. Krishna standing up ended the official business of the assembly. So the Yadus all began to leave. Gopakumara, however, was escorted by the Lord himself into the Lord's private quarters. The Lord took hold of Gopakumara's hand very firmly.
Can you all imagine, like, somebody comes to our house, we'll just sit in the living room and talk. But if that person is really close, our more close family, we will take them to our inner chambers of the house. So Krishna is holding Gopakumar's hand very firmly and he's taking him inside to the inner chambers. How sweet is the Lord. Jai. Priya Madhuri Mataji.
Sure, Mataji, sorry. Lord, the Lord's 16,108 queens happily followed their husband along with their maidservants, and in front the queens placed their mother-in-laws, Sri Devaki and Rohini.
Who was next? Was
Yeah. Among the queens were, 1 second, I have to move this. Yeah. Among the queens were the goddesses Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambavati, and Kalindi, and Mitravinda, and Satya, Bhadra, and Lakshmana. The word Devi, supreme ruling goddess, here refers specifically to Satyabhama, who is especially dear to Krishna, but it also refers to all these queens.
So from our previous readings, we know Srimati Radharani is Satyabhama. Okay, that's how she's very, very dear to Krishna. Yes, Richa Mataji.
The Lord's other queens followed, headed by Rohini. All of them fit in every way to be his consorts, and all honored by groups of suitably qualified maidservants.
Jai. Priyanka Mataji.
With his two mothers and all these queens surrounding him shyly, the Lord entered his palace, followed also by several groups of young sons who added to the splendor of that procession. Within his palace, he concealed the emotions he was feeling, and with apparent pleasure, he sat down on the best of thrones. Hare Krishna.
Wow. The scene is so wonderful and pleasing to the eyes. The whole family going in. But I saw the Lord appearing before me as if adorned by the company of Sri Yashoda and all the beautiful young gopis and many young cowherd boys. Seeing the object of my meditation, holding my flute in his hand, I again fainted, overwhelmed by delight. Commentary. In his meditation, Gopakumar had always worshipped Sri Madana Gopal Dev, who, unlike Lord Krishna in Dwaraka, always carries his flute. But now Krishna had just taken Gopakumar's flute in his hand and was still holding it. That peculiar circumstance set off a special ecstasy in Gopakumar, a mood in which he saw Devaki as Mother Yashoda, Krishna's queens as gopis, and the Lord's sons like Pradyumna and Samba as young cowherd boys. In Gopakumar's rapture, Krishna's own beauty remained unchanged, and so did that of Sri Balaram's mother Rohini, who has the same personality in both Vrindavan and Dwaraka. The only feature of Krishna's that different here in Dwaraka was the sacred Yajnopavita thread that given to him by Sandipani Muni at the time of his initiation. But this thread was concealed by Krishna's upper cloth. Jai.
Then Nandanandana himself, his mind moved by abundant compassion, quickly got up, and by the powerful touch of his lotus hand, he brought me back to consciousness and carefully cleaned the limbs of my body.
Here, Krishna. Mataji, please read this commentary. Actually, it's very nice.
Commentary. Though he be a powerful prince in Dwarka, Krishna is always the same Nandanandana, the darling son of Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherds of Vraja. His prime concern is always to keep the devotees of Vraja happy. Therefore, he could not help but feel anxious for Gopkumar. Although he could have brought Gopkumar back to consciousness simply by his omnipotent desire, Krishna wanted to take personal care of him.
This is that loving Lord. He doesn't let his servants, or just a glance of him is enough, all powerful to wake him up. But he wants to do personal service. So the Lord is teaching by his example.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes,
Both
Mataji.
Mother Devaki and Yashoda Mai, both are there?
No, Only Devaki mother is there, but since Gopakumar is always meditating on the Vrindavan form of Krishna, he's seeing he's seeing Devaki as Yashoda. So Devaki and Rohini are here, but Yashoda is in Vrindavan. She doesn't come to Dwarka. She only visits and she's back.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes.
It was now lunchtime, but the Lord didn't feel like eating. Only at the insistence of his mothers did he perform his noontime duties. Commentary. The pain of separation Krishna felt from remembering Gokula spoiled his appetite, but his mothers, not only Devki but also Vasudeva's several other wives, wouldn't let him go without eating. First, however, he took his noontime bath and performed his other normal duties.
That darling son of Devaki fed me something with his own hand and only then took something himself for my satisfaction.
Wow. The Lord is even feeding Gopakumar now. Jai.
The Lord sat his elder brother down within a circle of boys and fed them, just as he had before in his childhood pastimes.
So all his mood is now going back to Vrindavan times. So he's also acting that way.
Uddhava knew the Lord's ecstatics very well. So he ate some of Krishna's Mahaprasada remnants and then took me somewhat by force to his own house. Krishna was thinking that Gopakumara would not feel completely at ease in a palace filled with royal opulence. Therefore, he decided that it would be better for Gopakumara to stay with Uddhava at his house. Since Uddhava had a unique affinity with a residents of Vraja, Uddhava knew what the Lord was thinking without the Lord's having to say anything. So as soon as Uddhava ate some of Krishna's remnants, he took Gopakumara with him without so much as a word. Since Gopakumara was still dazed, Uddhava had to drag him away.
So this is what is Uddhava's role. He understood what Krishna doesn't have to give any verbal commands. All in the eyes is spoken. So Uddhava carries Gopakumar to his house so that Gopakumar will heal from his faint, dazed situation. Yes, Richa Mataji. Oh, sorry, Siri.
Only then did I completely return to normal consciousness. Reflecting on what I had seen happen, I danced for a long time and then began to think. In the more normal situation of Uddhava's house, Gopakumara was able to gather his thoughts. He was delighted to have the opportunity to be with Krishna and his devotees there in Dwaraka.
So I danced for a long time and then began to think. So when we are very happy, right, we don't think too much. We start dancing first. So this is everything is very sweet. Every word that is being put is so apt. Yes, Richa Mataji.
I said to myself, indeed, today I have achieved the ultimate perfection of all my desires. For with my very eyes, I have seen the hero of Raj with all his attractive charms, that same person upon whom I have always meditated in my heart.
Bye. Priya.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I don't have the book. Hare Krishna.
Hemangavi Mataji, you are muted, I believe.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Mataji, I am only here.
Okay. Some Mataji was telling she don't have a book, but you can read
Yeah.
the screen and you can read Mataji.
Yes.
Actually, I don't see Hemanga Gopi Mataji. I think she accidentally got cut off. Is that what happened?
Yes, Mataji, I think so too.
I think so.
Oh.
She will join. She can join, right? But she's the host.
Huh, how are we all
Yeah,
there?
then we all have to
Mataji.
cut off and join back.
Sri Gaurangi Mataji, you have become the host now. She's saying I'm coming back.
But book.
Mataji,
Yes,
I don't have the online version. I have the
No,
physical copy.
she's joining Mataji. She will share again.
Okay. We will wait, right?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji, yes.
I am so sorry. My connection got lost.
It's okay, Mataji. We didn't even understand what happened. Then Mataji told us.
All that I can do was text on the phone. So sorry. Yes, Priyanka Mataji, please go ahead. Can you see now?
Yes, Mataji. The next day, I went with Uddhava and saw my lord, but I was so beside myself with delight that I was unable to do more than that. Commentary. On the second day, Gopakumara was still so disoriented by the ecstasy of the new state of affairs that he was unable to render any service other than taking darshana of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Sometimes when we are very weak, we can't do services. So that's what is happening to him. He's just too weak, coming back to his consciousness. Okay. While reciting, was there anyone else who joined who didn't get a chance to read? I'm checking again. Okay.
I can read
Mataji, is he very weak or is mesmerized to see Krishna?
That mesmerization makes you feel weak, right? So,
Okay.
like tembe illam solluvola Mataji. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's just too weak with that ecstasy. When all the symptoms of ecstasy just makes you also weak. So he's in the dazed stage. Neeru Mataji, please go ahead.
While residing there in Dwarka, I constantly, abundantly received Lord Krishna's wonderful mercy. I tasted such a flood of supreme ecstasy that no one could tell of it in words, or even think of it within the mind. Not even a pure devotee of the Lord with a lifetime of Brahma.
So all this, not anybody can understand or describe. That's how hard it is. The happiness found in liberation is said to be supreme. Multiplied many millions of times, it might be said to equal the joy in Vaikuntha. And if any joy still greater can be conceived, it is that which is found in Ayodhya. But the joy born in Dwaraka, how can anyone even begin to describe it? Hare Krishna.
Indeed, no faculty of mind or speech can grasp the joy of a resident of Dwarka feels from having gained the only lord of his life after a long time, yearning to see him. Only those whose minds are fit can know that joy. Minds are fit.
Krishna.
After I had lived for some time there in Dwarka, some of the best of the divine Yadavas said something to me. Their hearts melted with eagerness to see everyone in the world happy within and without. What Gopkumar is speaking to his disciple is not merely theoretical. While residing in Dwarka, Gopkumar had tasted enough of Dwarka's unique happiness to rightfully claim knowledge of it. On one occasion during his stay, he had been approached by some concerned resident who only wanted the greatest possible happiness for everyone, both externally in the form of good food, clothing, ornaments, and other means for enjoyment, and internally in the form of the priceless treasure of Prem and its aesthetic.
So here what is happening is the Dwarkavasis are feeling very bad looking at, bad in the sense very concerned looking at Gopakumar because he is in that simple clothes like a cowherd boy. So that's making their heart feel in pain because of their love for him, love for the guest. So they want to give him all that opulence of a Dwarakavasi. So now this is what happens next.
The divine Yadava said, "Dear friend, you have come to this place which is more full in supreme splendor than even Vaikunta, and you are now our companion. We think it hardly fitting that you continue to dress like a miserable forest dweller."
Miserable forest dweller. We'll stop with this one. Yes.
Can I read this, Mataji?
Yes, read
Okay.
this one. This will be the last.
This troubles our minds, so please take on our type of dress and looks, which are naturally available to anyone who lives here. Commentary. The citizens of Dwaraka know only the highest constant ecstasy, but these devotees felt a little unhappy to see Gopakumara in an apparently wretched condition. By nature, they were intolerant of even an outward semblance of misery. Gopakumara should not wonder where to get the
I
right
can't do anymore. Like, you should sit and do.
for enjoying like a Dwarakavasi, because the very atmosphere of Dwaraka readily provides these to any resident who wants them.
Okay. So the whole point here is they are not able to take that he's dressed like that and he is in that pitiable state of like a poor forest dweller, miserable forest dweller. They want to give him all that out of their concern. So we have to see moving forward what happens in this conversation. So this is the place of the beautiful place of Dwaraka where Krishna is personally present. Hare Krishna. Any reflections, Matajis?
Today you stopped Mataji exactly like in the Indian serials we used to see that they give the break so that we come to the next exciting one. So we are excited to see what happens next.
The book is like that, Mataji, not me.
Mataji, the mood of Dwarka in Vrindavan is so different, right? Like,
Yes.
though Krishna is present in both places, the residents of Dwarka have a different relationship, a different rasa with Krishna, right?
So
I
true.
mean,
So true.
they
Yeah.
both
And
have.
Krishna said in our previous reading, right? Like, I have never touched my flute.
Yeah.
That's how he.
After I left Vrindavan, I never touched my flute.
So he took now Gopakumar's flute and he's going into that ecstatic mood already, just seeing that flute. So what to say, Krishna? So that's how Dwarka is still in that opulence, is still there. The Vaikuntha opulence is still there. The worship is. And that's how the gopis didn't feel like they saw the same Krishna in Kurukshetra. They didn't feel like as if it's their Krishna. They're like, you're so opulently dressed and there is nothing that we can relate to you here. Doesn't look like you're our Krishna. Yeah, Krishna Karuna Sindhu. Yeah. So getting more deeper, but the beautiful thing is that the devotees are very merciful. They are loving. They are so caring. That part of the Yadavas that they are there to help us, and that mood is so wonderful. Every place that we have been seeing, whoever is associated with the Lord, they are so loving and caring. So we can pray that we can.
Mataji,
Yes.
actually, for Gopkumar, the Devaki Maya looks like Yashoda Mai, right?
Yes.
And the queens are look like gopis, and the
Yes.
sons look like covered boys. That's what I understand. Is that correct, Mataji?
Yes, because he's always thinking of Rajalila only. His mantra in his meditation, that is only coming. when he's chanting, that mantra is revealing in his mind. In his mind, Krishna is coming and kissing him. Krishna is coming and hugging him. And all the pastimes he's seeing is all related to Vrindavan. Because Madan Gopal is from Vrindavan. And his mantra is Madan Gopal mantra that he's chanting. So mantra is not different from the Lord. So the Lord is revealing those pastimes in his heart as he's chanting. And every dham he's going, his chanting is getting very pure and pure. So like how our spiritual masters say that when we chant the pure names of the Lord, the Leela will manifest, the pastimes and the form of the Lord will manifest in our heart. So for him, it's already manifested. So that's where everywhere he's comparing. What I'm seeing inside, I can't see outside. So this is his problem, inside outside problem. So he's comparing and he's feeling dejected everywhere. But here now he has seen the Lord, which is matching from internally the same with the two-hand form. But now he's missing the entourage and that loving exchanges yet.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. It all looks like a dream, but it is true. We will come back again tomorrow and we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha. पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Vaishnavi Vrinda ki jai. Chanting is also continuing. As much as we can join, we can join. I know it's a work week. So whatever allows you all, the chanting channel is open from 5 in the morning. Hare
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam Mataji. Mataji, I
Dandavat.
am only hearing for all Mataji, so I feel so happy. Because in between I am in school and the road, so then I feel, Mataji, little bit. Words are going, so many ways.